The drawing room of the recently widowed Mrs. Montcleaf.
What is it now, Wallington?
It's Wellington, actually, ma'am.
I'm sure I don't care a fig either way.
Miss Purdue has come to call on you, madam, in something of a tiz.
Oh, drat! That sickening little brat!
Shall I send for tea, madam, or shall I dissuade her?
Oh, send her in, Warburton. Her idiocy amuses me. Come to think of it, so does yours. Send a silly twit in and bring us some tea, then be sure to get back to your chores.
Very good, madam.
Oh, Mrs. Montcleaf, it's such a relief to finally reveal my big secret. Me and Mr. Barry are planning to marry. Oh, but I beg you to keep it just between us.
I'm overjoyed, my dear. What a surprise to hear that you are finally down off the shelf. Now, I hate to alarm you, but it's so easy to charm you. You must realise he's only after your wealth. He's quite the dandy liar. He merely plays to inspire rushes of love in an impressionable girl's heart. Besides, as you can see, he's engaged to me. This diamond ring is just the start of our great romance.
What do you speak? Well, surely, Mrs. Montcleaf, dear Thomas would never dabble in such games. Oh, I feel rather shaken. Well, you must be mistaken. We can't both share the same man's name. Come now, be serious.
Well, if you insist on knowing all the ugly details.
Flashback to a tryst between Mrs. Montcleaf and Mr. Barry, a local seducer of women.
My lady, how I long to relieve you of your clothes.
What would your prim little acolyte say to that, do you suppose?
Oh, give her no thought. I care for naught but putting my eager hands where they ought not to be.
You're a devious little bedswabber. I'll happily let your hands roam free on one condition.
Anything, my goddess, to ensure your submission to my wild, firing lust.
Very well. Marry me.
Oh, my goddess, I can't.
Oh, but my dear boy, you must. If you wish to share my riches, then you must rebuff the scandal. I'll not have that snobby little Miss Purdue and her insufferable aunt tell me whose goods I can and cannot handle.
Oh, very well, my smouldering temptress. I'll drop the silly girl for a woman of brains instead. Besides, she hasn't a penny of her own, nor an ounce of wit. When shall we be married?
My love, my darling, is that you I see?
Make haste, my dear, before she uncovers the mystery of my half-hearted protestations of love.
Till tomorrow then, my darling. Promise me for the sake of her fragile heart that you will let the little dove down gently. The infuriating little saint will get the downfall she deserves at last. Ha!
Who is that, dear Thomas? Not a jealous lover from your questionable past, I hope.
Oh, you are far too prone to believe the gossip rather than the truth, my sweet. You have reformed my wayward ways. Now, to what do I owe this treat?
Do you desist, my darling? It's not for romance that you've come to me. I am pleased to tell you, my one, my only, that I am a child.
My, is that the time? I forgot that I must attend to my poor dying grandmother.
Oh, you poor silly girl. You know nothing of the world, nothing of the deception of men. You should stay at home with your wayward mother. Let's not fight with one another. We shall have some tea and biscuits, and then...
How dare you, you trickster! You would have me be a spinster. And you've always been jealous of the attention I get. Do you think I didn't know it was you who told my first suitor, Mr. Pugh, that I was a poor, paler strumpet after his assets? Honestly, this wickedness is beneath you. And you know very well where my mother is.
Yes, well, you deserve some bad luck. You're so spoilt and stuck in your pretty little daddy's girl ways. Well, now you know virtue doesn't get you very far. Not in these vice-ridden days. And as for Mr. Barry, I know he's a menace. But since my dear Dennis left me all alone in a mansion full of woe, I'm in need of some fun. And my Barry's the one. A young, handsome string to my bow. Lord knows he's a vast improvement. Oh, now. Don't cry, dear. It's most unladylike. You know, it isn't just me with whom he's been free. He's had half the girls on your street. And though they resist and act prim, they always give in because he's so charming and seemingly sweet.
Oh, indeed. It seems no one is safe from his charms.
Flashback to Colonel Purdue's library earlier this morning.
Oh, don't cry, dear. It's most unladylike. You're always weeping. Just like your silly, idiotic mother. I suppose some charming man has got you with child. Just like your idiotic mother. And I expect you want your father to force a marriage with his shotgun. Just like your desperate, penniless mother, whose bodice was always open to anyone who wanted to squeeze.
Aunt Augusta, please. I'm weak at the knees. I'm undone and undeserving of your mockery. Help me be at ease.
What do you expect of me? A fine time to show some respectability. Covering up a foolish woman's antics is my speciality, it seems. It was the same with your stupid, tedious mother.
He's abandoned me! Oh, the sin! Oh, the shame! I'll never be able to face polite society again. I'll have to stay in the house with you and Father till I go insane. He packs me up to a madhouse.
Just like he did with your lunatic mother.
Aunt Augusta!
Not who desist in this foolishness. Once again, my patience is put to the test. I shall inform your father of your wanton shamelessness. The rest is up to him.
Oh no, please dear aunt, you know we can't. Barry's blood will stain the walls and I shan't be able to live with the sin.
Well, it's better than living in fear. I'm sure you'll manage, dear. Who knows? Whose skirts the robe may be lifting? Whose regions he may be squeezing, fondling and caressing at this moment in time.
What's all this lusty talk of fondling regions? What's all this crying? I won't tolerate tears in this house. These womanly things are far too trying. I will fetch the shotgun.
Do sit down, brother dear, and pour yourself a brandy. This silly nymph has gone the way of your wife. The shotgun might come in handy, but not just yet. Tell us the name of this handsome womanizer, and we shall give him an evening he shall never forget.
What's this? What's this? Is my home to be used as a halfway house for any whorish tart? Oh, you can stop your snivelling for a start. Augusta, send for the man at the madhouse. I'll not have another punk pilfering my dignity and toying with my heart. I shall fetch the shotgun.
Dear father, please don't punish Mr. Barry. I'm sure he'll be reasonable and he's sure it's his child I carry. Perhaps he thinks me dishonest. Perhaps he has run away because he thinks me disloyal.
You're a strumpet and he's a blackguard, and I shall boil you both in oil.
Oh, just like it was with your mother.
Do shut up, Augusta! Barry, eh? I've heard that name before. The scandalous, scurvy swine. I shall have him in the church by dawn, or buried in the ground by 9. Augusta, lock this idiotic girl in the attic, while I fetch the shotgun.
Oh, the fickle fumblings of youth. Will they never learn? How I miss secret dalliances with unsuitable men. Oh, the thrill of the chase, the chafe and the burn of a good old rollicking romp against a wall or atop a carriage. How many throbbing memories have deposited in my lady purse before the skull-crushing tedium of marriage. Thomas Barry, eh? I might have known. His reputation precedes him. How fortunate that he has need of me now that my regions have occasion to need him.
Oh, how I long to marry Mr. Thomas Barry. Such an insatiable rogue. You see, dear, he's of my kind, an equally treacherous mind. A pure girl like you should steer clear of his lustful advances. I don't fancy your chances of charming his strong, wild veneer in quite the way I can. I'm a lady of extensive experience, you know.
Oh, it's just no use. You're being so obtuse. I know in my heart that it's true. See, it was only a desperate plan. My urge to marry this devious man. I just didn't know what else to do. I suspected I was deceived by those amorous ideas that you weaved. But you see, he's gone and got me, in the family way. Oh, Mrs. Montcleaf, such a lot of pointless grief. The 15 fleeting minutes while the maid was away.
The seduction of Miss Purdue.
Two whole days since I last had a fumble with a filly. How my groin aches and throbs and groans. I must be a pretty peach ripe for plucking to lift my tiresome weight with her breathless moans. The gods are smiling on me as usual. What a delicious, delicate lark. I'll wager that I have her knickers off by supper time. One always finds the most accommodating girls when one is strolling in the park. Sweetest lady, if I may beg your kind indulgence to assist me this day, for I am horribly lost and all alone in the world. Your pleasing company would chase my melancholy away.
Oh, well, I'm very sorry to hear of your distress, sir, but I'm not in the habit of entertaining strangers. My father would be most displeased.
Forgive my abrasive intrusion, madam. I shall rise from my knees to better bask in your beauty, and beg your forgiveness for my awful faux pas.
It's quite all right.
May I lead you home, at least? Do you live far from here?
I hardly know.
Well, then I'll guess, and I'll lead you gently, my lady. I have a way of finding my way into a pretty girl's head.
You're very kind and gallant, sir.
And handsome, yes, I know. Just you wait till you get me into bed.
What?
Nothing, nothing, my dear, nothing. Such mesmerizing eyes.
I have no wish to be tied to a gentleman who lies, but what is the alternative? Oh, what a catastrophic mess!
Oh, do hush your mouth, you mouse of a girl! I'm afraid I really couldn't care less. You see, I find you insufferably tedious. I only entertain you to feel smug and clever. I'm done with you, now off you go. Such disagreeable weather. You'll be positively drenched to the bone. How unfortunate.
You rang, madam?
Wellingborough, show Miss Purdue to the door. I'm done with guests for today. Unless, of course, Mr. Barry will be requiring my services.
The young gentleman with the bulbous breeches, madam.
I'll say.
How can you be so cruel and callous? I thought you were on my side.
I shan't let you get your hands on my man, silly girl. Now, I don't begrudge you a ride on my horse, but he shall be firmly lodged in my stables from now on. Is that clear enough for you, my empty-headed little heiress? Are you still here? I must be pressing on with my wedding ring.
Well, I shall still have him whether he wills it or not.
Explain yourself at once, you sickening little swat!
My pa insists that if Barry refuses to marry me, then he will shoot him for the blackguard that he is. So, unless you want your husband delivered to you in a sack, I advise you to please me forthwith.
Not such a wet little weakling after all. Very well. Sit down and hush up while I concoct a plan.
Oh, I knew you had a kind heart before your coming.
What else but cunning can keep your claws in a man?
An alehouse of questionable taste.
There you are, Mr. Barry. I trust you are planning to marry my poor foolish niece, Miss Purdue. Or, if not, I would say goodbye to your balls forthwith. Have a drink or two before you go.
What's all this cryptic talk of my balls, madam? Do you know of some hideous act soon to befall me?
My brother, the Colonel, is on the hunt with his shotgun. I advise marriage on the morrow or enforced celibacy.
My, this is somewhat inconvenient, for I have sworn myself to another.
Some rich scheming widow, no doubt. Clever boy.
seems we understand one another, dear.
Call me Augusta.
My dearest Lady Augusta. Perhaps it would be advisable at this juncture for you to deliver the news of this unfortunate tryst to your dear niece and honourable brother, whilst
You make a speedy getaway with your rich, ravenous widow in tow.
how clever you are, sweet damsel. It seems that age only adds to your beauteous bow.
A pox on your flattery. Now, have it me. I am a woman of certain needs which have not yet been met. I care not for flowery words and devious dealings. Give me a night I shall never forget, or by King, whoever it is, you shall be shot on the morrow. My brother the Colonel is in a frightful rage, and I am the only one who can calm it. For once it's unleashed, it leads to catastrophic sorrow. I advise you to pay me the most special attention.
Is that the time? I forgot. I must attend to my crippled cousin Winston.
Very well, boy, run! But you won't get very far with me on your tail. No one says no to Augusta, Batty Craddock. A passionate woman will always avail.
The Colonel, hunting for Barry.
Where are you thieving lusty brigand? I'll tear out your gizzard and rip off your prick. Confound these idiotic women with their uncontrollable urges. I'll not have my house shamed by this bed-hopping rogue. There are no honourable men left since the war. No, not a decent man in sight. How I miss my upright friend, Colonel Featherbottom. How we held each other tight, night after night, after night. Purely to stop us dying of the cold, you understand. I mean, it wasn't planned. It just sort of happened. War drives a man to many questionable things. He foolishly ran into enemy trenches naked for a dare. How my heart still stings when I remember my last words to him. It was only a joke, you flaming Nancy! Oh, enough of this womanish silliness. The lascivious cad has got stripes to spill. You hear me? You lily-livered libertine! Colonel Purdue always shoots to kill.
For your services, my dear, cheap at half the price. I always feel somewhat sullied after bedding aboard, but nothing dampens my urge for vice. I know, you want me desperately, don't you? I'm not surprised, I would too.
So, here is our saucy leg spreader. You dare show your devious face? I call you to war, Thomas Barry. for my daughter's honour, for England, and for God's good grace. Not so fast, you caddish rogue. The guilty always try to run. Now let's see how cocky your cock and balls are when faced with my gargantuan gun. Huh? Oh. Timothy? Timothy, my only friend, my darling, darling boy. Were you safe all along, or why did you run from me? Was it all just a ploy?
It appears, Colonel, that you harbour secret desires. Far be it from me to deceive you. I am merely a likeness of your darling boy. But still, let this not upset you, for I am sure that we can come to some sort of agreement. For I am sure that you are keen that the truth stays hidden. So, sir, I shall be on my way with my balls intact, and you, sir, shall do as you are bidden.
Oh, Machiavellian devil! Timothy would never be so bold. You, Mr. Barry, are a walking corpse. Do not try to allay my violent urges. Your deceptions have no hold. Now, I expect my daughter to be married on the morrow, and for you, sir, by your luscious lips to stay sealed, or so help me, I will make your scurvy blood run cold.
I trust I shall have no more trouble with you, sir. For if you wish for this tryst to accompany me to the grave, I will do as I will and not as I ought, whereas you, Colonel, had better behave.
Who are you looking at? You want to put it in your flank?
Oh, Timothy. Confound everything and everyone in the world.
I shall drown myself in brandy until my mind goes blank.
Mrs. Montcleif's drawing room.
Patience, dainty dear. There's no need to fear. Though I must say I'm heartily surprised. I always thought you too prim to spread your legs on a whim, but neither of us need be deprived. Now you want to be respectable, I'm desperate to be disreputable, and Barry will do what's best for him. So, I'll marry Barry. You can have my brother Harry. He's a gentle sort, though his poetry creates an awful din.
Oh, God! Not Harry and his awful poetry!
Flashback to Mr. Tittingwhelp's laughable attempts at the wooing of women.
Oh, my dearest lady sweet, how joyous would we have chanced to meet on this, the prettiest hour of the summer's day. Your hair shines like sunbeams.
Please, Mr. Tittingwhelp, I'm afraid I cannot help but appear horribly crude and unseemly. See, I am waiting for a dashing young gentleman to meet me. Would you kindly step aside so I may continue my stride to my one and only true love?
Oh, my sweet turtle dove, forgive me. God forbid I, a lowly romantic, should stand between an earthbound vagabond and his angelic queen. He is no doubt ignorant of your heavenly light, no doubt unimpressed by the beauteous sight of your virtuous perfection. These days young men place lust over affection. But you will find that I am a poet of old. I have spent many an hour penning you a verse. If I may be so bold.
Oh, Eustacia! Your cheeks are as red as a red rose. Your creamy skin as creamy as cream.
Please stop. People are staring. Oh, this is like a bad dream.
Oh, wait, I've got more. Oh, Eustacia! Your hair is brown, like the trunk of the tree. Lift your dainty feet and run away with me, for I love your loveliness, and the pendulous perks of your amble.
That's quite enough.
This one will definitely make you swoon.
God.
Oh, Eustacia! How I marvel at your marvellous moans. Celebration, you know. Please don't go, I beg you!
You really are the most ridiculous fool, sir.
A fool for you, my lady. Oh, Eustacia! How I weep with longing for your sweet smile. Your hands are as fragile as the legs of a deer. You glide with the angelic grace of a queen.
You really think so? Well, how kind.
How I quiver for the sight of your spleen.
Excuse me, sir, for my haste from this dim. My lover, Beau, has just beckoned me to him. I would rather refrain from your dire, awful poetry. A passionate woman needs action taken, not amorous commentary. Excuse me, sir, I needs must be gone.
But it was a spelling mistake! Were I a wiser man, I'd say to hell with womankind. As fickle as weather, not a moment's peace nor pleasure, and with their treacherous sort your heart is entwined. But alas, I cannot thwart her, and though I stand no chance to court her, but by the bulge in my breeches, gods, I adore her. Foolish man, too foolishly in love to cease being a fool. It must be that insatiable bed-hopper Barry that I have oft seen my dear lady admire. Oh, Eustacia, how can you be so easily swayed? He must have corrupted your innocence with his seductive man-fire. Well, fear not, my rosy-cheeked maiden, for I will challenge him to a duel and see if he be a man. Then you'll think me noble and courageous, and light my man-fire as only you can.
An alehouse of questionable taste.
Tis a fine life to be a rake. To flit from bed, to have every wife, widow and sweet-eyed maiden sigh with regret that we cannot be wed. The trusting fools, how they bore me. I shall retire with a rich, scheming widow to support me. Which shall I choose from my harem? What do you want, you idiotic twit?
I challenge you to a duel, sir! I shall have your spleen on a platter, for you have corrupted the innocence of my dearest lady love!
A common enough occurrence in the life of a Lothario. Pray, what's the name of the ravished turtle dove?
The Honourable Eustacia Purdue, sir! As if you could forget her handsome face, her shining hair, her rose-red lips.
A right ample bosom. On the contrary, I remember well those milky white hips writhing in pleasure.
I shall have at you, sir, for you are a rogue beyond measure!
My dear fellow, you appear to have dropped your glove.
To the death, sir! I
you coward!
He is a prize fool that dies for love. Begone, imbecile, you keep me from my wine.
I shall prove my honour to my dearest lady love by running you through, and honour and vengeance shall be mine!
What is this?
It's private!
Oh, the fool is a poet!
A troubadour, sir, with a talent for
A
romance!
tedious wordsmith, wouldn't you know it?
Give it back!
Shall I compare thee to thyself? Thou dost walk in beauty like the night, like a small bird raging against the dying of the light. Oh, Eustacia! Thou art a cruel tempest of tempestuous temptation, like a fickle bee in the honey pot of my soul. What a lot of utter rot! You are the worst poet in the world, sir. Now, crawl back to your hole in the valley of obscurity, and pray be sure to keep far away from me, for if we chance to meet upon the street, I shall be forced to mock you for all the world to see. Oh, see a grown man weep. Begone, you blubbering imbecile! I have widows to bed and fortunes to reap. I wonder why you bother writing poetry to that waif when you clearly prefer me. Oh, I've turned many a boy's head in my time. This is poetry.
Very well, you can! You've succeeded this time! But I will return, and you will beg, for there will be no help! Rest assured, this is not the last time, sir, that you shall face the wrath of Sir Harry Tittingwhelp!
What a brainless, idiotic fool. How I joy in my superior charms. The Tittingwhelp fortune is vast, so I hear. I shall have to help myself into his sister's arms.
Flashback continues to Mrs. Montcleif's mourning of her husband who died in mysterious circumstances.
Thank God the old fool is dead at last. I thought he'd never go. Oh, now I can squander all his hard-earned riches and find myself a young bedfellow. Oh, dear Dennis, how he adored me, thinking me honest and virtuous company. Never thought at all of how he infuriated and bored me, and what me and his charming nephew got up to in the shrubbery. What is it now, you doddering old idiot?
Aye, Mr. Barry has come to call on you, madam.
Barry? Is he young and charming?
Aye, most handsome gallant, your ladyship, with a smile that is most disarming.
How deliciously serendipitous. Just what I've been pining for. A relief from my catastrophic grief, of course.
Of course, madam.
You may show him to the door.
Very good, madam.
A strapping young widow hunter are we, Mr. Barry? Well, this time you've met your match. I'll wear you out in a week if you can't keep up. Then on to the next handsome catch.
Mr. Thomas Barry, your ladyship.
Pleased to meet you, madam, and charmed, to be sure.
A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Barry. What services do you have to offer a poor, grieving widow?
Only the most pleasurable and vigorous. and regular service, madam, as befits a lady of your wares.
A most eloquent answer, Mr. Barry. Winchester? Show Mr. Barry upstairs. He's to be our new regular guest.
To the guest bedroom, the water closet, or my lady's boudoir.
Take a wild guess.
Very good, madam.
I find it works wonders to treat one's man like one's horse. They need strict rules, a firm hand, and a smooth, steady course. Then one rewards with ample sugar all their good behaviour. Yes, I'll have you next. Though I doubt you'll be much of a challenge. Aren't I a bitch?
The Purdues recover from their encounters with Mr. Barry.
It's not like the good old days when men were men.
I'll second that.
These rapscallion youngsters, they have no respect for their elders, no guts, no brains. It inflames my senses. I tell you for nothing, old girl, if I had my way...
If you had your way, you'd send them all to the trenches.
I'd send them all to the trenches, I tell you. War makes a man, and no mistake.
You'd better start another one then, before you die of boredom.
A toast, old girl, to war and anarchy.
And strapping young men in dire straits.
Oh, confound it, old girl, your appetites are insatiable.
Don't act all holier than thou, brother dear. I know how your tastes vary.
Explain yourself at once, you tricksy viper.
No sod off, you old big bag. Everyone knows you're a mincing fairy.
Mrs. Montcleif's drawing room.
Harry's always admired your hair, your perfect flowing hair. And he's too much of a coward to say no. That way, I get my wayward lover, your undoing stays undercover, and your father need not shoot the fellow. Though I must say, Miss Purdue, when it comes to husbands, it's you who would have drawn the short straw. But you must admit you had it coming, being so naive against our cunning. But as they say, all's fair in love and war. Oh, here he is now. I'll leave you alone. You have some groveling. Dear brother, your luck is changing, it seems. I shall leave you to the charms of Miss Purdue. No poetry.
Well, it seems the gods have seen fit, my dear, to gift me with the sight of your ever-perfect veneer. Tell me, to what do I owe this extraordinary honour?
Oh dear. Sweet Harry, I appear to be in a spot of bother, but your sister has assured me that you're the only one who can rescue me. I implore you to save me from despair.
Oh, my luscious darling joy! Has that roguish, rakish boy offended your honour? My safety godlike glory!
No, dear Harry, nothing like that. I'm merely sorry for acting so foolishly, for thwarting you, my one true love so cruelly. I love you, Harry Tittingwhelp. I've always wanted to be only yours, and I'm willing in my desperation, adoration, to marry you. If you're happy, of course.
Marry me! Oh, it seems I will die a happy man after all!
Not yet, you blubbering fool! Oh God, what sin have I committed to be crossed with this curse?
What was that, my lovely virgin angel?
Nothing, my conquering hero. Harry, let's to church.
An unsavoury alleyway.
Until tomorrow, then, my delicate peach fuzz.
You devious swine! I have claimed you as mine, and now I have found you. Though you eluded me greatly. Drop your trousers, boy, it's time.
Now, let's not be hasty, my lady. I no longer have any need of your conniving flattery.
You?
Me and Miss Montcleaf are to be married on the morrow, as is your unfortunate niece to her foppish brother. So you see, I no longer have need of your protection, you withered, lust-crazed grandmother. My breeches will remain up until my wedding night. Not that I would lower myself to the ghastly sight of your mangled old body without any clothes. Begone from me, crone. You bore me with your drone. I have standards, you haggard old whore.
Perhaps this will persuade you to rise to the occasion.
Well, as they say, all's fair in love and war.